So it's been a little bit since I've actually personally watched my love story with Yamada-kun at level 999. But when I first watched it, I was like, or at least first starting to watch it, I was like, I don't know if I really like this. I don't know if I'm really the biggest fan of it. But slowly but surely, I started to really like it. And I started to really enjoy it. And funny enough, I wouldn't say proof, like full-fledged proof that a gamer or that gaming can help you find love, but in this scenario it really is, right? At the end of the day, it seems that Akane and Yamada couldn't genuinely be different, like even more different. Like they are the actual polar opposites of each other, right? One seems to be more of a bubbly type of person that her head's in the clouds a little bit, probably too much. And obviously, the main guy, Yamada, is quite the opposite, right? Yamada is definitely a person that is pretty damn serious, like quite a bit. And on top of that, he seems to be like have a lot going with his life, being that he is one of the more renowned professional gamers in a first-person shooter genre. And frankly, I can't get over the fact that they really use gaming and also just like real-world experience and stuff like that to really be absolutely adorable in terms of storytelling and in terms of progression. Because frankly, with these two characters, right, you know that they are going to get together or that there is feelings there. But in all honesty, with Yamada, it's hard to read the guy, right? But we all know that he likes her. We all know that she likes him, but it's a lot more subtle. With her, it's not as much subtle, right? It's pretty blatant, but you can kind of look at it through the lens of like, well, it's blatant because we are literally hearing it from her, right? We don't really hear Yamada's mind very often and stuff like that. But in terms of her, we hear a lot of it. We hear a ton of it, right? That goes through her head and stuff like that. But I love this anime specifically and the gaming aspects and also some other aspects because of the little things. Like that boy Yamada really is a Chad. Like there are moments where I look at it and I'm like, this dude actually is a full-on Chad. And it's not because he's some overarching super cool dude. It's really the small things that make Yamada so cool. And I think really the first thing that really flips the script for you and that makes you realize how cool he is and how like good of a person he is essentially when he basically has her completely drunk, like completely out of it, and he helps her, has her basically sleep on his bed, and he just kind of like doesn't do anything. He's like kind of doing his own thing, playing games or doing whatever, and it's honestly one of the most like respectful things that you can really imagine, especially for someone who is, let's be honest, like he's like 17 I believe at the time, and he, this is a college girl, right? And which we will get into that as well, because that's a pretty interesting point too, because really he's super mature. Like he is very mature. He makes sure she's okay. And we see this on countless occasions of him being insanely mature and an insanely good person that makes sure that she is okay, right? Makes sure that everything is okay with her. And there's also just so many cute moments in this show that I won't get into like super specifics because I highly recommend you watch it. But there are moments where you're like, damn, maybe we are finally progressing towards them finally getting together, right? Maybe we finally have them pushing forward, right? And this does feel like a slow burn in a way. Definitely doesn't feel as fast as some other romance animes that we've seen. But it's also one that kind of finishes things off in literally one season. So in a technical sense, it's not a slow burn, right? It's not your typical slow burn. Things do pick up and eventually get to the point where they are together, right? They are a couple. But the reality is there's moments within them being together that make you like really, really love the way both of them are individually, right? The bubbly side of Akane and also the very serious, monotone, very respectful side of Yamada, right? Those moments are so freaking good. And holy freaking crap. When I say that the last 2 episodes of the season are like beyond adorable, like honestly the top of the top in terms of how cute they end up being, I'm dead serious about it when I say that, because we get the moment where essentially we have Akane working and Yamada essentially shows up and is kind of just sitting around, and he's kind of like, you know, not essentially saying exactly what he's doing there, but we all know exactly why he's there. And it's just such a cute moment where she's like drawing on his little, like on his hand and stuff like that. I thought that was really freaking cute. Like, I thought that moment was super dope, super cute. I feel like they have a lot of moments where like they feel like a couple, or at least they are progressing towards being a couple. But I think my favorite thing amongst them all actually is when we essentially get confirmed that they are going to be a couple, right? And what I mean by that is essentially Yamada rejecting the other girl. Now, it was a pretty damn sad scene, I'm not gonna lie. I believe her name was Tsubaki. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I said that wrong, but I really liked her. Like, I was like, damn, like she's really cool, like she's really sweet, she's nice, this and that. It's unfortunate because you are going against the main character. Like, you are literally going against the main character. It's unfortunate, but the reality is you were going to lose. Like, there was no way around it. You were 1000% going to lose. But I thought she was really cute, and I thought that him letting her down easy was a really cool thing. And I thought one of the best moments as well has to be him when they essentially confess, because this is when you kind of start to realize and unfold exactly what his mindset was this entire time, right? His mindset around her, around Akane, was that he wasn't good enough, that he actually was not good enough. And I was like, damn, like really, huh? Like, you thought that she was straight up out of your league. Like, that's the way he felt. And I'm gonna be honest, that's such a gamer mindset. Like, if you're a gamer, you're that type of dude, you know, you play video games, whatever. I feel like a lot of times, even with guys in general, we don't know how to take hints very well. So I felt like it just like resonated with me pretty heavily, that the entire time he was like, I really like the way we are and how we hang out and how we spend time. In his head, he felt like she was out of his league, like way out of his league. And I was like, that's fantastic, because in all honesty, I felt like, for one, you could argue that he's out of her league. I'm not saying she's not amazing, but he got it going on, right? Like, he actually has hella shit going on, like, legitimately. I mean, he's a full-fledged pro gamer. He's such a respectful and awesome dude. So, low-key, he might be out of her league. But with that said, it's crazy that that is the mindset for someone like him. And he's like, he's genuinely thinking like that she wouldn't want to be with him, or she wouldn't, you know, be with him because, you know, she's like, you know, just better. And she's this college woman and this mature woman and this and that. And he starts really throughout this entire time seeing every single side of her, right? From the side that really annoyed the heck out of him with the whole like, oh yeah, act like you're my boyfriend, whatever, yada, 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 to the other side where he started getting to know her, starting to realize his feelings, starting to be very protective, being very mature around her, you know, trying to like, you know, basically uphold a certain standard that he felt like he needed to hold because it was her, right? Because it was Akane. And I loved that. I thought it was really good. And I'm gonna be honest, in the beginning, when I first watched this anime, I personally thought like, damn, I think this is kind of mid. I don't really like it. But then I started just watching it, and I was like, nah, I was tripping. This is fire. And I loved the fact that this dude is a gamer. Yeah, we don't see a ton of it, right? We don't see a ton of gaming stuff, but we see enough to where it's enjoyable, as well as we see like some other gaming stuff, not involving his FPS, but involving basically like a totally RPG kind of world. Like that was really entertaining. It wasn't a big part of the story specifically. I mean, technically it was, because that's how they meet up and stuff, but it's not like we see the game and it's like 95% of it, right? It's not like that. But the game is a part of the storyline in itself, but not like super important to the point where like the show itself probably wouldn't even exist without it, at least in my opinion. But overall, I think every aspect that was in this anime had its role to play, and I just loved their mature relationship. And I love a mature relationship too. Like their mature friendship leading into an actual relationship was a nice breath of fresh air, and it kind of gave me hope. And you know, with my little copium, smoking the copium, it also gave me a little bit of proof that gaming can actually help you find love. Now, with that said, I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below about this idea, and about proof that gaming can actually help you find love in the future. Now, with that said, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, leave a sub, and leave a comment down below. All that good stuff. And with that said, I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.